Goedemorgen, dit zijn live beelden van het NAVO-hoofdkwartier in Brunsum. De basis heeft vandaag verschillende activiteiten op het programma staan, onder andere in het centrum van Brunsum. Er is muziek en dans, maar eerst is hier op het hoofdkwartier een besloten ceremonie. En dat alles is in het kader van het 70-jarig bestaan van het hoofdkwartier. En die 70 jaar is niet alleen in Brunsum. Nee, we zijn begonnen ooit in Fontainebleau in Frankrijk. En vanaf dat moment is het nu 70 jaar geleden dat het hoofdkwartier is opgericht. Wat gaat u zien zo dadelijk? We verwachten dat de hele ceremonie zo 65 tot 75 minuten duurt. We beginnen met een toespraak van de basiscommandant. Dat is generaal Guglielmo Luigi Miglietta, een Italiaan. En tijdens die speech komt ook de echtgenoot van de militair aan het woord. En daarna krijgen we admiraal Joachim Rühle. En die man is baas van het Europese hoofdkwartier Shape. Dat ligt in Mons in België, ongeveer een dikke 200 kilometer hier van Brunsum vandaan. En als laatste spreker is burgemeester Wilmar van der Rijt van Brunsum aan het woord. Na die speeches dan komen er een aantal medailles die worden uitgereikt. En er is nog een afsluitingsceremonie onder de naam Parade. En gelukkig hebben we tussendoor ook nog een beetje muziek. De meneer die u nu in beeld ziet, dat is de pelotonscommandant Juan Bustamante, een Spaanse kolonel van de landmacht.
Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum 70th Anniversary Signature Event Parade. Today, the Commander, Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum, General Guglielmo Luigi Miglietta, will preside over today's ceremony. He will be joined by Admiral Joachim Rühle, Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters, Allied Powers Europe, and the Mayor of Brunsum, Mrs. Wilmar van der Rijt. During this introduction, I will switch to Dutch a few times. The remainder of the ceremony will be in English. Goedemorgen, geachte gasten, dames en heren. Mag ik u van harte welkom heten bij de ceremonie ter gelegenheid van het 70-jarig bestaan van het Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum. De algehele leiding van de ceremonie is vandaag in handen van de commandant Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum, de generaal Guglielmo Luigi Miglietta. Hij zal vergezeld worden door de Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe, admiraal Joachim Rühle, en de burgemeester van Brunsum, mevrouw Wilmar van der Rijt. Gedurende deze introductie zal ik enkele malen wisselen tussen Engels en Nederlands. Voor het overige deel van de ceremonie zal Engels de voertaal zijn. The Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum personnel on parade are composed of both officers, non-commissioned officers and civilians from all of the nations serving within the headquarters and represent all elements of NATO. The music for the ceremony today is provided by the Army Music Corps of the German Armed Forces. The NATO hymn and the Dutch national anthem will be played during the ceremony. Military members in uniform are requested to stand and salute for both the NATO hymn and the Dutch national anthem. You will also be asked to stand for the arrival and departure of Commander Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum and honored guests. Het personeel van het Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum dat deelneemt aan de parade vertegenwoordigt zowel officieren, onderofficieren als ook burgers van alle landen en krijgsmachtdelen die werkzaam zijn binnen dit hoofdkwartier. De muziek tijdens de ceremonie zal ten horen worden gebracht door het muziekkorps van de Duitse landmacht. Tijdens de ceremonie zal de NAVO-hymne en het Nederlands volkslied worden gespeeld. Militairen in uniform zal dan worden verzocht om te gaan staan en de eregroet te brengen tijdens het spelen van de NAVO-hymne en het Nederlands volkslied. Tijdens aankomst en vertrek van de commandant Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum en SVIP's zal ik u verzoeken om te gaan staan. Please take a moment now to ensure all mobile devices are turned off or on silent. I would also like to remind you, everyone, that apart from the official media representatives, it is not permitted to take any pictures or videos during the ceremony or within this camp. Finally, in the event of any incident or emergency, please follow all instructions given by the emergency coordinators or myself. Thank you. Mag ik u verzoeken om alle mobiele apparaten uit of in ieder geval het geluid uit te zetten. Tevens wil ik u eraan herinneren dat met uitzondering van de officiële mediavertegenwoordiging het niet is toegestaan om tijdens de ceremonie foto's te nemen en of te filmen. Dit verbod geldt overigens voor het gehele onderdeel. Tot slot, mocht er zich onverhoopt toch een calamiteit voordoen, volgt u dan de aanwijzingen van het eerste hulppersoneel of mijzelf. Dank u.
We gaan naar de volksliederen. Althans één volkslied, het Nederlandse. En daarvoor wordt de NATO-hymne gespeeld. Die is geschreven door André Reichling. Dat is een militair uit Luxemburg. En die stamt uit 1989, dat lied. Daar beginnen we mee, de NATO-hymne. En daarna het Nederlandse volkslied. De ceremoniemeester trouwens, dat is een Nederlander. Major Appie Faber, dat is de man die zo net gesproken heeft.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the honored guests.
Chief of the Staff, Sheikh, Admiral Joachim Rolle, Commander of Joint Force Command Brunsum, General Luigi Guillermo Gillette, Mayor of Brunsum, Mrs. Vilma van der Rijk, General Salut.
Terwijl de gasten arriveren en de sprekers arriveren, vertel ik u nog even dat er 31 landen bij de NAVO zijn. En die soldaten die u in de pelotons ziet opgesteld, dat zijn soldaten uit 28 landen. Dus niet iedereen is aanwezig. En dat komt dat sommige landen gewoon geen leger hebben.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we play the NATO hymn and the national anthem of the Netherlands.
IJsland, Luxemburg en Montenegro die hebben geen leger. Vandaar dat ze niet hier aanwezig zijn.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
De NATO-hymne van André Reichling en daarna het Nederlandse volkslied. Zo dadelijk komt de eerste spreker, de grote baas van de basis. De hele ceremonie is gisteren geoefend. Een keer of 4, 5 achter elkaar. De goede volgorde te bepalen. En dat liep eigenlijk best wel vlekkeloos. Gelukkig heeft het veld niet te veel last gehad van de enorme regenval van gisteravond. En ja, we kunnen blij zijn dat het vandaag in ieder geval droog is. En het veld ziet er goed uit, dus lijkt me niet zo nat.
The band will now play the Venetian March.
Het eerste muziekstuk wordt gespeeld door die muziekkorps der Bundeswehr. En dat speelt vanmiddag ook nog in Brunsum. Daar vertel ik later nog iets meer over. Het liedje heet de Venetia March.
The Commander, Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum, General Guillermo Luigi Mietta, will now address the parade.
Dat was het muziekkorps der Bundeswehr. En zoals gezegd, die kunt u vanmiddag nog in het Openluchttheater zien in Brunsum. Daar kom ik later nog op terug. De Venetia March. Dat is de grote baas.
Dear ambassadors, Mayor Brunsum, Chief of Staff of SHAPE, Commander Joint Force Command Naples, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today, we gather here to celebrate the momentous occasion, the anniversary of the Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum. For 70 years, Joint Force Command Brunsum has been at the epicenter and the crucial element of NATO. is an honor to stand before you and reflect on the remarkable journey of this Joint Force Command and its contributions to the security and prosperity of NATO. First and foremost, let us take a moment to acknowledge the inspired leaders, dedicated military personnel, and support staff who have worked together to strengthen and build Joint Force Command Brunssum over the past 7 decades. Some of these eminent leaders are here with us today. Thank you. Thank you very much for your attendance. Their commitment, professionalism, and firm dedication have been instrumental in upholding the principles and values of NATO. Let me take this opportunity to thank all of your countries, represented here by senior military leadership. I've already had the opportunity and the privilege to visit in the past months. The warm welcome I felt, not as a person, but as the commander of Brunssum Operational Headquarters, is a clear sign we all stand together in the spirit of good cooperation and desire to protect our shared values of freedom and democracy. These are the principles of our defensive alliance, even more in these stormy times. The foundation of Allied Force Central Europe, also known as AFCENT, initially established in France in 1953, marked a significant milestone in NATO's history. We were designed with the aim of enhancing the alliance's collective defense capabilities and fostering cooperation among the NATO's member states. We later moved here to Brunssum, the Netherlands, in 1967. In 2012, we changed the name in Allied Joint Force Command Brunssum. For over 70 years, our Joint Force Command has played an essential role in promoting peace, stability, and security across the Euro-Atlantic region. Throughout its existence, Joint Force Command Brunssum has adapted and evolved to meet the ever-changing security challenges. From the Cold War era to the present day, we have demonstrated our agility in the face of emerging threats. Joint Force Command Brunssum has been at the forefront of NATO efforts, whether it be crisis response operations deployed out of area of operation or deterrence and defense. Our job has been to ensure that the alliance and all NATO nations remain vigilant and prepared. One of the key strengths of Joint Force Command Brunssum lies in our multinational composition. Our Joint Force Command brings together personnel from 31 of our NATO and partner nations, fostering interoperability and cooperation within the Euro-Atlantic region. By working together, sharing expertise and strengthening each other, Joint Force Command Brunssum enhances the collective defense posture of the alliance in Northern Europe, making it stronger than the sum of its parts. Over the years, Joint Force Command Brunssum has been involved in several critical operations and missions around the world. From peacekeeping efforts in the Balkans to counter-terrorism operations in Afghanistan, Joint Force Command Brunssum has demonstrated its commitment to upholding NATO's core principles and promoting international security. Our contributions have been vital in fostering stability and supporting the efforts of partner nations in building strong and resilient societies. Moreover, Joint Force Command Brunssum has been a driving force behind NATO's emphasis on comprehensive approaches to securities. Recognizing that security challenges are multidimensional, our joint and all-domain headquarters has highlighted the power of a comprehensive approach to security. Today, we find ourselves in the middle of yet another conflict. Europe is our homeland, and once again, Europe is not at peace. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has highlighted more than ever the need for NATO and strong collective defense in Europe. Joint Force Command Brunssum plays a central role in this defense, and the importance of our headquarters is more evident today than ever before. This manifested itself as Finland joined NATO this year, and it will soon be followed by Sweden. NATO countries testify the way of life we conquered throughout centuries of social evolution, and they stand by any countries who fights for liberty, freedom, and democracy, and will provide support to those who are endangered for as long as it takes, in both words and deeds. In these days of new focus on NATO's core values, it's evident how we will all have been able to work together, starting from national defense plans to contribute to the finalization of the DDA pyramid. Some issues remain, but are under active consideration by NATO HQ or SHAPE. The planning effort have been outstanding. The dedication, commitment, and professionalism of all our people has been the best example of our alliance work. In a sobering context, right after Russian invasion of Ukraine has returned the long shadow of war to Europe. As we move forward, preparing for new and somehow unknown challenges, it is only right that we, Europeans, do more for our own defense. As an Italian commander of the Joint Force Command in the heart of Europe, I am proud to be working with you in that endeavor. Today, celebrating our past 70 years, I see decades of success and steadfast pace that bring us where we stand today. That's an easy task. I cannot, unfortunately, see what the situation will be in 10 years from now. But I do know that whatever decision our leaders will take, Brunssum, our headquarters, is the only option to command multi-domain joint operation in Joa Center. As we celebrate the 70th anniversary milestone, let us not only reflect on our achievement, but also look towards the future. The world we live in continues to evolve at an uncommon pace, presenting us with new and different challenges, both natural and dictated by human will. It's imperative that we adapt, innovate, and strengthen our collective resolve to confront this challenge head-on. Each one of us has to know how to manage this difficult period of transition, directing personal effort towards a future not far off, better than the one we have left behind. And so, talking about future, I cannot avoid bringing forefront our families and our beloved ones, with whom we face together the past and the years to come with renewed momentum, renewed interest, and renewed confidence in the future, which will be as good as we see it. It's a difficult job to keep our inner circle safe and secure while concentrating our effort on the daunting tasks we mentioned. In addition, living abroad is not easy, and neither is it living far away from our beloved. As I always say, we must find ways and means to best combine the service commitment with the personal responsibilities associated with our role in the family. I would like the Joint Force Command Brunssum community as a whole to see itself as one big family, to face joys and difficulties together. I know we can. Many of you already know how much I care about our families. There will never be a proper reward for their massive efforts. To represent all of them, we have here today Miss Di Gianfilippo and her daughter, and I think that today's ceremony constitutes a good occasion to hear from them.
We krijgen een korte interruptie van Ilaria Di Gianfilippo. Dat is de vrouw van de militair en de dochter.
Good morning, distinguished guests, General Guglielmo Miglietta, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start, let me say that being here in front of you, next to our beloved ones, is truly a privilege. I have been asked to give a voice to the family of GGFS Brunssum, and I'm pleased and honored to have this opportunity. I will do my best. Forgive my Italian pronunciation, but Italy is in my heart and soul. So here I'm representing a general perspective, although with a slight military bias, as a wife, mother, a member of the GFC Brunssum. There is me, maybe.
There is me. I would like to represent another relevant perspective, the children's one.
Yeah. Yes, you are right. I was at the point to introduce you. She's my daughter, she's Lucilla, and I'm sure you have something to say in a while. So, militaries, civilians, families, in same way, we are all members of the GFC Brunssum community. To get the full experience of this environment, there are some issues and decisions that must be made in advance. First, the choice of either splitting the family or moving together to another country. It is a tough decision involving many factors, mostly the effect it will have on our children. They are often forced to leave behind the home that they always consider as a safe place and their extended family. Furthermore, they have to change their school curriculum, learn to communicate in a different language. Definitely not easy tasks. This choice can be difficult for the spouses as well. Moving far away often requires leaving a job and the support of their extended family as well. These things that always help them to carry on with their daily routine. There is no right decision. Whatever decision is made will bring along both positive and negative experiences. We all have heard about the positive and negative experience that many people have had moving to a new place. Today, I'm going to talk shortly about mine. This is an experience that surely helped me in improving my adaptability. My life was going on pretty well, and I'm usually a very positive person. The decision to move here affected my life, my job, and all the aspects of my daily routine. During the COVID pandemic, my husband was given 1 month notice to move to Brunssum. This would have been our third move in 3 years on such a short notice. My reaction was, I'm ready. Let me check about the school for the kids and write my resignation letter. The decision was taken. Later that night, however, I started to think about everything I had to do in 1 month. I still remember the sleepless nights. My mental balance, also the dynamic one, as the psychologists used to call it, was put to the test. And so I firmly believe that most spouses have felt the same way. Our life is just an emotional roller coaster. When we are forced to change, the hope is always the same. To find a new balance as soon as possible, hoping that everything will be okay and for a safe return back home after our tour of duty. New surrounding, new people, new lifestyle, new school, new rules. It is at times a bit scary. Nothing is simple. Not speaking the language was the biggest obstacle. Even going shopping, always for me simple, has been difficult. Fortunately, spouses are stronger than they imagine, and they, husbands and wives, they will find the path to succeed. They will develop coping skills for bad and sometimes really, really bad situations. Even though we surely had truly bad experiences, today I will try to avoid exploring the deep sea of real troubles. Allow me to say in shallow waters, avoiding ruining this positive atmosphere of this great day. I will just share with you a couple of experiences I had. The first, as far as the rules I mentioned before, when I arrived, I didn't know that over-sorted asphalt could not be too heavy. I put my heavy garbage can out the first time and the truck did not pick up. And then I had to keep all the garbage in my house for another month. I learned the lesson in the hard way, and now I know all about the hard effort. On the other side of the coin, of all the many positive experiences that moving here has offered my family. But what do you think?
Yes, as I said before, the school is amazing. I have learned so much by being immersed in an English-speaking and multicultural environment. I'm now proficient in a language that was almost unknown to me a couple of years ago. I have now good friends from several countries all over the world. And I have learned about and I experience other people's cultures and costumes. I'm more well-rounded and accepting people's differences. I realize that this experience has enriched all of the children involved.
As you can see, they are stronger and better than before. And so am I. I met many people like me that can help. By joining the International Spouses Club, I have met wonderful people from all the NATO countries. We get together often for sharing our perspective and experience, helping each other. So I must say that the positive experience living in a foreign country outweighed the negative. Not easy though, and therefore family deserve consideration. I would like to thank the leadership for clearly understanding this and trying to support at the best the other half of the headquarters. We will reciprocate by offering our husbands and wives a smile when they get home, interpreting the motto, stronger together. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Een trotse Italiaanse dame en haar dochter, echtgenoot en dochter van een militair, Italiaans militair, die werkt. Een leuke opmerking was dat ze het probleem had met de vuilnisbak die ze buiten zetten en die werd er niet geleerd.
Thank you
De generaal gaat verder.
Miss Ilaria, and thank you, Lucilla. Allied Joint Force Command Brunssum has been an integral part of the NATO success story for the past 70 years, and it will continue to be for the next 70 and beyond. Joint Force Command Brunssum's solid commitment to collective defense interoperability, and comprehensive security has been crucial to maintaining peace and stability across the Euro-Atlantic region. Today, we salute the brave men and women who have served under Joint Force Command Brunsum, and we express our deepest gratitude for their selfless dedication and service. May Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum continue to thrive and serve as a beacon of strength, cooperation, and unity within the NATO alliance and world. Stronger together. Thank you very much.
De basiscommandant van het hoofdkwartier, Luigi Miglietta. Er is heel weinig tijd om natuurlijk dingen te vertalen, maar een van de dingen wat de generaal zei, is dat hij ziet dat het epicentrum een cruciaal onderdeel van NAVO is.
Chief of Staff, Allied Powers Europe, Admiral Joachim Rühle, will now address the parade.
Maar we gaan naar de volgende spreker. Dat is de chefstaf van het Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe. Dat is een hele mond vol. Shape. Daar ligt een mond, zoals ik al zei, in België.
What a privilege to be here. And what a great idea, Guillermo, to ask the family to give a word. I think it was great done. And I could imagine my wife recognized some of your findings as well in now almost 45 years of service. General Bekiada, distinguished leaders, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm very happy to see a lot of good friends here on the tribune, to which I have seen in the capitals, which I have seen in NATO headquarters, ACO or ACT. Good to have you with us today. And I'm really honored to be here today to speak to you on this tremendous occasion. Today, we celebrate a momentous and noteworthy milestone, the 70th anniversary of Joint Force Command Brunsum. It's a day to commemorate the legacy of this great military headquarters and recognize the pillars upon which this organization has flourished and those which have placed it in NATO and indeed on a global map. Its people, its mission, and its professionalism. But before we look too far ahead, let's look back where it all began. Joint Force Command Brunsum draws its lineage from Allied Forces Central Europe, or AFCENT. During the Cold War, AFCENT commanded the largest portion of NATO forces in Allied Command Europe, containing Northern Army Group, Central Army Group, 2nd Tactical Air Force, and 4th Tactical Air Force. This force totaled more than 1 million personnel, tens of thousands of guns and tanks, and thousands of aircraft. Between 1953 to 1993, all war planning envisaged the main campaign to defend democracies in Europe to be fought in the AFCENT area of responsibility. The planning was extremely detailed, and plans were rehearsed continuously through annual corps and multi-corps exercises. In 1967, AFCENT headquarters was moved from Fontainebleau near Paris to here at Brunsum in the Netherlands. At the end of the Cold War, AFCENT supported NATO operations in the Balkans and led the efforts to create and sustain the highly successful NATO Partnership for Peace program in Central and Eastern Europe, and most of the initial members of Partnership for Peace became alliance member states in the decades to follow. When we think about the turmoil and violence that might have erupted in these nations after the collapse of the Warsaw Pact and the Soviet Union, partnership and enlarged membership is an unacknowledged triumph for the alliance, and much of the initial planning was done in AFCENT. In 2003, AFCENT, renamed Regional Headquarter AF-North, assumed responsibility for operations under the International Security Assistance Force, Afghanistan. And in 2004, as part of a comprehensive NATO reorganization, Regional Headquarters AF-North became Joint Force Command Brunssum. Since then, Joint Force Command Brunssum's main effort in its organizational and planning work has been, until only very recently, on contingency operations planning, focusing on stability operations and counterinsurgency operations outside the Euro-Atlantic area. This emphasis on crisis management and cooperative security was reflected in the strategic concepts produced between 1990 and 2010. Absent from these documents, however, was a grand strategy or military strategy for the defense of the wider Atlantic area. However, times, as we all know, have changed considerably, and so must NATO. This is an unprecedented time for Euro-Atlantic security following Russia's brutal, unprovoked, and illegal invasion of Ukraine. These actions have directly impacted how the alliance operates. In February 22, Joint Force Command Brunssum took a critical role in not only providing integral strategic and operational focus to the art and science of alliance deterrence, but also more practically expertise in building and managing deterrent elements and capabilities across their area of responsibility. The war in Ukraine has also stressed the need to expedite the development of our strategy to ensure we have agile and capable forces ready to meet any threat we are likely to face within a very uncertain and extremely complex security environment. Assertive authoritarian regimes, terrorism, cyber and missile threats, disruptive technologies, and climate change all present new challenges that we must prepare to address. And the Air Force is doing this at this moment, as they are doing this for the whole of the week in an impressive exercise. In 2019, NATO embarked upon the formulation of its first truly new and comprehensive joint strategy since the midst of 1950. The concept of deterrence and defense of the Euro-Atlantic area, or DDA, moves us from out-of-area contingency operations and back into the classical mode of collective defense of the alliance. Indeed, this concept is a complete family of plans, including the regional plans, which will ensure we are prepared to defend over 1 billion citizens across every inch of alliance territory and safeguard the shared values of our allied societies: democracy, freedom, and the international rules that promote peace and prevent war. For the first time since the Cold War, we are fully connecting our planning for collective defense with the planning for our forces, capabilities, and command and control. In keeping with this effort, the Joint Force Command Brunssum leadership and planning teams have been extremely busy drafting theater strategic, tactical, and supporting war plans for defense of its large area of responsibility and adjusting course at the 11th hour to ensure the successful incorporation of our newest ally, Finland, into their planning efforts. This is a testament of their dedication and commitment, and these plans will form the basis of enhanced force requirements, changes, forces development activity and large-scale exercises in the future. The continued implementation of DDA over the coming years will be crucial to update our alliance and to secure peace across the Euro-Atlantic area. And we will continue to look to Joint Force Command Brunsum in their capacity to achieve planning and operational excellence to continue to propel us forward. So today, on your 17th anniversary, Joint Force Command Brunsum, I commend you. Your evolution and success over the years have been nothing less than exceptional and inspiring. The future has yet to be written, but you are undoubtedly in the midst of a great period of transformation in operational and command planning. Drawing from a proud history of defense of Central Europe during the Cold War and moving forward with innovation and flexibility as we look to the future. Joint Force Command Brunsum, you are shaping the change and helping to make this great alliance even better. Thank you from Shape.
Ja. Brutale, illegale invasie in Rusland en een beetje geschiedenis over het hoofdkwartier. Maar we worden natuurlijk een vliegtuig overkomen en dat vliegtuig dat was niet, zoals de admiraal zei, een deel van een grote NAVO-oefening die aan de gang is. Maar dat was natuurlijk gewoon een AWACS. Hadden ze misschien beter even over kunnen communiceren. Het wordt dus nu aan burgemeester Wilma van der Rijt uit Brunsum.
General Miglietta, ladies and gentlemen, in the Netherlands we have a saying that goes something like this: a good neighbor is better than a distant friend. NATO here in Brunsum is both a friend who operates on a global scale to ensure our freedom and security, and at the same time a trusted and valued neighbor. Brunsum has played host to NATO for over a half century now, since 1967. Throughout these many decades, NATO has become vital to Brunsum. Indeed, NATO is a lot closer to us than to many other people in the Free West. To us, NATO is not in Brussels. No, NATO is here in our backyard. To us, NATO is not a convention alliance with all the political and military maneuvers that goes with it. No, NATO are the men and women who came from all over the world to serve here and to live here as our neighbors. To us, NATO is the men and women who live in the houses next to ours, with whom we share our streets, our shops, our bars, and our daily lives. We have become such a good neighbors because we share qualities and values. One quality is particularly stands out, and that is our international orientation. You see, Brunsum is and has always been a border region. Over the centuries, we were Dutch, Austrian, Belgium, and then at the end, Dutch again. Modern Brunsum is a melting pot of cultures, the result of the mining industry, which a century ago attracted people from all parts of Europe. Thus, historically, its commitment to being a truly free and open community, welcoming to those who seek a home and future here, to dedicate to all efforts and preserve the special values of our community. This, I think, is a commitment that we share with NATO. And this is what makes the relationship a dear one for us and for you. A special one. A special relationship that has deepened over the years and for which I'm deeply grateful. General Miglietta, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the local community of Brunssum, I heartily congratulate you on your 70th anniversary. It has been an honor to have been a host town for most of these 70 years. Your 56 years presence has truly enriched the community of Brunssum. It leaves us profoundly grateful and also with a deep hope for the future, namely that we will have NATO with us for many, many years to come, that you will trust and treasure Brunssum as a good place to live and to work in your mission to preserve and to guarantee our freedom and security. I will thank you all.
Ja, burgemeester Wilma van der Rijt begon met een goed Nederlands spreekwoord. Een goede buur is beter dan een verre vriend. En ze zegt, NAVO is beide eigenlijk. Het is een vriend die wereldwijd de vrede garandeert. En het is ook nog een keer niet Brussel, maar gewoon onze achtertuin.
Ladies and gentlemen, the band will now play the Prince Eugen March.
Het wordt al aangekondigd, de muziekkorps der Bundeswehr gaat weer spelen. En dit keer spelen ze de Prince Eugen March.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, Allied Joint Force Command Brunssum, and Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters, Allied Powers Europe, will now present the following awards. The following members of Allied Joint Force Command Brunssum are awarded the NATO Meritorious Service Medal for distinguished service while assigned to NATO duties. They have upheld the finest traditions of the Alliance through an exceptional contribution, which has brought great credit on themselves and earned the respect and gratitude of everyone represented by the Alliance. The Commander, Allied Joint Force Command Brunssum, will present the Meritorious Service Medal to Commander Simon Goldsmith, Campaign Assessment Branch, Joint Assessment Division.
Bij de uitreiking van deze medailles geeft ons dat misschien een beetje gelegenheid om een beetje de vertaling, laten we zeggen, te vertellen wat er gezegd is. Dan begin ik met de generaal. Generaal Miglietta, de generaal, de baas van het hoofdkwartier. Die zegt bijvoorbeeld in zijn speech dat hij blij is dat Finland bij de NAVO is gekomen. Dat is op 4 april gebeurd. En ook blij is dat Zweden er binnenkort bij komt. Het epicentrum is cruciaal onderdeel van de NAVO. En met dat epicentrum bedoelt hij dan het hoofdkwartier. En hij heeft iets verteld over de opdracht van het hoofdkwartier in de Balkan en in Afghanistan. Daar zijn 2 belangrijke taken weggelegd voor het hoofdkwartier. En daarnaast had hij het ook nog over het leven in het buitenland. Dat best wel moeilijk is. Dat voor families ook zwaar is. En daarbij had hij ook een dame en een dochter uitgenodigd die daar wat over gezegd hebben. En die dochter was vooral blij met haar school. Ze zegt, ik heb al heel veel nieuwe vrienden uit de hele wereld leren kennen. Het is een topschool, dus dat is een mooie reclame voor de Afstand International School.
Commander Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum will present the Meritorious Service Medal to Lieutenant Colonel Jean-Marc Lespinas, Staff Officer Joint Engineering Division.
En de echtgenote die zei bijvoorbeeld over de misverstanden van ja, je laat je familie en je laat iedereen achter in Italië. Dat is best wel moeilijk, ook voor de kinderen. En dan zet je de vuilnisbak buiten en dan wordt hij niet geleegd. Dus dat is ook iets wat je moet leren allemaal. Het was gewoon fijn en positief dat de familieleden ook eens een keer wat gezegd hebben tijdens zo'n internationale ceremonie. De admiraal die heeft het voornamelijk gehad over de geschiedenis van het hoofdkwartier. Zo zei hij bijvoorbeeld dat de naam regelmatig...
Joint Force Command Brunsum are congratulated on their selection as recipients of the Supreme Allied Commanders European Recognition Award. This is truly a tremendous accomplishment, recognition of your contributions to NATO and an indication of your potential to do even more in the future. You have demonstrated great qualities of professional competence, unwavering dedication and remarkable leadership. We are proud of how you tackled the challenges during your time here, and we thank you for your distinguished service within NATO. The Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe, will present the Supreme Allied Commanders Europe's Recognition Award to Lieutenant Colonel Peter Melnick, Staff Officer Land Planner J5 Division.
Nou, dan een keer terug tot de admiraal. Admiraal Rühle heeft het over de historie gehad, onder andere. Bijvoorbeeld dat tussen 2000 en 2005... heette het hoofdkwartier Regional Headquarters af Noord. En de taak was toen de noordelijke regio van Europa. Daar had hij het over. En daarna is het natuurlijk geworden Joint Force Command. Een hele lange naam eigenlijk. En dat korten wij af naar JFC. Officieel heet het Headquarters Allied Joint Force Command. En ik denk dat de meeste Brunsumers het nog gewoon kennen en nog steeds zeggen dat ze het over afzend hebben. Dat zit er nog eenmaal in getimmerd hier.
Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe will present the Supreme Allied Commander Europe's Recognition Award to Major Lorette Wilkins, Staff Officer, Information Requirements Manager, J2 Division.
En dan hoor je ook denken, ja, wat doet dat hoofdkwartier nou precies? Nou, ze kunnen bijvoorbeeld, of ze moeten, binnen zeer korte tijd bataljons van 20.000 tot 40.000 militairen kunnen inzetten in probleemgebieden in de hele wereld. Dat is een van de taakstellingen van het hoofdkwartier. Daarnaast hebben ze ook vaste teams in Estland, in Letland, Litouwen en in Polen, de Balkan. Nou, gezien de situatie in Oekraïne kunt u zich natuurlijk voorstellen dat datzelfde JFC Brunsum daar op het moment de handen vol aan heeft. Dat maakt de positie van het JFC behoorlijk belangrijk op dit moment in de wereld.
Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe will present the Supreme Allied Commander Europe's Recognition Award to Major Onur Jetkin, Staff Officer, Public Affairs, Social Media, Military Public Affairs Branch. And the Commander Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum will award a Civilian Long Service Award. In recognition of her dedication and loyalty shown during 30 years of service within the North Atlantic Treaty Organization between June 1993 and June 2023, José Satori, who works in J1 Life Cycle Management, is awarded the Long Service Award.
Dit is wel redelijk speciaal. Dit is een burger die wordt geëerd voor 30 jaar trouwe dienst. Want naast de landmacht, luchtmacht en marine militairen op de basis werken er ook wel een behoorlijk aantal, voornamelijk Nederlandse burgers. En dan moet je vooral denken aan bijvoorbeeld de shop, poetswerk, maar ook administratieve krachten. Alle rangen en standen zijn ook in het burgerpersoneel vertegenwoordigd op de basis. Ja, dit is een blijft het Italiaan natuurlijk.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the honors and awards ceremony.
We gaan toch langzaam richting de afsluiting van deze ceremonie.
And the band will now play the POS March.
En na deze POS March vertel ik u graag nog even wat er in Brunsum te doen is vanmiddag.
The commander and honored guests will now assume their position on the dais.
Request permission to carry on with the closure of the ceremony.
Yes, please carry on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the departure of the Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe, Admiral Joachim Rühle, Commander Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum, General Guillermo Luigi Nieta, and the Mayor of Brunsum, Wilmar van der Rijt.
The Chief of Staff, check. The Commander of Allied Joint Force Command Brunsum, to the Mayor of Brunsum.
Het is natuurlijk een officieel NAVO-onderdeel, een militair onderdeel. En het gaat allemaal precies via van tevoren uitgeschreven scenario's. En daarmee zijn we ook zo langzamerhand aan het einde gekomen van deze ceremonie hier op het Joint Force Command hoofdkwartier in Brunsum. Maar ik wijs u graag nog even op een aantal activiteiten die in Brunsum vandaag nog plaatsvinden. De regimentsfanfare, garde, grenadiers en jagers van de Koninklijke Landmacht die geeft zo dadelijk een concert. Om 1 uur gratis in de Brikkenoven. En het muziekkorps der Bundeswehr, dat zijn die muzikanten die u net heeft horen spelen hier. Die spelen om 2 uur in het Openluchttheater.
Ladies and gentlemen, this ends the 70th anniversary signature event. The reception for invited guests will follow in the Miners restaurant. For the parade, headquarters spectators and their guests, there is a reception in the Alliance restaurant. Thank you.
Dat was nog een interne memo. En het laatste wat ik u nog ga meegeven is dat op het Lindenplein kunt u om 1:15 en om 1:45 kijken naar een Bulgaarse folkloristische dansgroep. U wordt hierbij bij deze activiteiten hartelijk uitgenodigd door de gemeente en het hoofdkwartier. Voor nu, bedankt voor het kijken en wellicht tot de volgende keer. Dag.